Appendix 1 by the narrator. In the previous section, it has been mentioned that Hinduism used to be a missionary religion. As has been said, and as must be focused, Hinduism was only a missionary religion before the development of castes. This, however, leads into the idea that Hinduism developed caste and Hindu society developed caste later on and did not originally possess it. This is, however, true, somewhat incomplete. The reason for this is that Hindu society existed before India. Hindu society existed before the Aryans even migrated to India, since Hindu society is Aryan society, and therefore, when the Indo-Aryans migrated to India, they already possessed a society. This society, although nomadic, did not possess caste, since it was nomadic, and since it migrated from what is now Central Asia, they were a tribe. Hindu society was not Hindu in the sense that it was not a feudal relation, it was a tribe. And this Hindu, so called Hindu tribe, migrated to India and formed the religion which is Hinduism. And the religion which is Hinduism formed with caste as its basis. Therefore, with the arrival of Hinduism to India as a religion, and with the conversion of masses of aborigines within India, which had already existed in it, to Hinduism, Hinduism developed caste. Therefore, the very fact that it arrived in India meant that it developed caste because it sought to place the aborigines of the country at a lower rank. This is also proven by the fact that what has been mentioned later is that it was possible for big masses to be converted as a singular caste within society rather than individuals to be converted. Therefore, Hinduism is not a missionary religion and did not seek to be a missionary religion. What it sought was ranks and ranks of lower castes within it, which would serve the upper castes. The upper castes being, as has been previously discussed, mainly Indo-Aryans themselves. Therefore, what has been seen historically is that in places like the northeast, where Manipur or Manipur's history was completely overridden by Hindu history, where 7 kings were added to the list of Manipur's traditional kings, and these 7 kings were stated to be Hindu kings who had ruled Manipur from time immemorial, thus Hinduizing Manipur's history and separating it from its own history, stating that its history was in fact Hindu history, meant that these fictional lists of 7 kings now made it so that the whole of Manipur became Hindu, and therefore the whole of Manipur came under the Hindu fold. Meaning of this was that Manipur and Manipuri people, Meitei people, were now Hindu. However, as has been seen, Meitei people are not placed at the highest ranks of the caste society. They are also placed at a lower rank. They are scheduled tribes. Furthermore, in other places across the country, tribes have been mass converted into the religion but have been placed at a lower rank. The Ho Santhali peoples in the east, the several Dravidian tribes in the south, the northern tribes in Kashmir, and the northeastern tribes in the northeast. All of them have been converted to Hinduism and have at the same time been placed at a lower rank. Furthermore, at the end, Baba Sahib states that the abolition of castes is the only way in which Hindu society can be reformed. This has been expanded upon in Annihilation of Castes, as has been previously documented in this project, and the annihilation of castes comes to the final conclusion that the annihilation of castes, that the abolition of castes, is only possible with the abolition of Hinduism itself. This must be looked at from a historical lens because at first Baba Sahib's purpose throughout his life had been to find a way to reform Hinduism. He felt that it was possible to reform Hinduism from within in order for it to become egalitarian, in order for it to allow for the untouchable to even exist. However, the conclusion that he reached when writing Annihilation of Caste, his seminal work, was that this was not possible, that a reform within Hinduism was not possible, that the revolution was the only way, that Navayana Buddhism, as came to be known, was the only way out. Hinduism could not be reformed from within, and therefore a reformation of castes would not be the solution. And even an abolition of castes within Hinduism would not be the solution, since an abolition of castes within Hinduism is an oxymoron. An abolition of castes means abolition of Hinduism. An abolition of castes means the Hindu ceases to exist, because the Hindu does not exist. There is no Hindu society. There is only a federation of castes. And if castes cease to exist, Hindu society, what is called Hindu society, ceases to exist. Therefore, annihilation of castes means annihilation of Hinduism. The end.